Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Freestead with today's Daily Hope. It comes from the book of Job, Job 1, verse 21, and it says this. Then he fell to the ground in worship, and Job said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." If you're not familiar with the book of Job, it's a story of a man who had lots of things, and in one fell swoop, he lost his possessions, he lost his family, and it was really a test of whether he would curse God and turn from his faith in God. And Job passes the test. The book is long, it's complicated, it takes many twists and turns, but luckily chapter 1 kind of stands alone, even apart from the rest of the book, with a complete message that's there. And so one of the things that the book of Job does is it gives us a perspective on suffering. You know, grief takes a long time, and nobody can set the script for you, and no one can set the parameters for you. There are lots of twists and turns, but generally, when somebody is grieving, it starts with a blush response. And the response is either, how could God let this happen to me? I hate God. I'm going to distance from God. Or, this is a reminder for me that I'm smaller than God. God is sovereign and it is God's world. I don't love what's happened, but there's some meaning in it for me to discover. And maybe that's a moment for you to pause and think about a time when you faced grief, you faced an unexpected loss or setback. Was your blush instinct to say, how dare God let this happen to me? Or was it, wow, I am humbled by this, I don't love it, but I will trust that God is still there and he still has some meaning to work out. So now listen to Job's response again. He gets up, he tears his robe, he shaves his head, and he falls to the ground in worship and says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." So the end of this chapter 1 gives us a perspective on suffering, on grief, on loss. And it's interesting how it echoes some New Testament themes. Okay, so first of all, naked I came into the world, and naked I will depart. In other words, everything I have is God's provision for me. Reminds me of where in the letter to Timothy, it says, we brought nothing into the world, we will take nothing out of it. And Job says, God gave and God took away. And that's like the sense of that is when Jesus says the rain falls on the just and the unjust. We live in a broken world. Sometimes unfair things happen, not to be fatalistic about it, but it really is about God, and there are things that will happen in life that are beyond us. That's not a reason for us to chuck our faith in God, but just to reaffirm the necessity of our faith in God. And finally, may the name of the Lord be praised. I mean, it says here that Job fell to the ground in worship, and there's that story about David when he has the affair with Bathsheba and he loses his son. It says he went into the place of the Lord and he fell down and he worshiped. Sometimes we equate worshipfulness with thankfulness. I am worshiping God. I am thanking him for everything. Thankfulness is a part of worship, but it's not the whole of it at all. Worship is recognizing the majesty of God and really the helplessness of us and the dependency that we have on him because he is God and we are not. So what does it mean to worship God in the midst of suffering, hardship, and loss? We get a picture of it in the story of David. We get a picture of it here with Job, who just says, hey, my life is God. My life is from God and because of God. And so even though I don't like what's just happened, may the name of the Lord be praised. So there's your daily encouragement, your daily hope, a little sermon for you straight from the mouth of Job in the book of Job, chapter 1 at verse 21.